You don't replace a Mona Lisa. You renovate it to keep it alive.
Big risks.
He was an ambitious businessman.
High stakes.
We can't let that happen under my watch.
And bad luck.
The left field grandstand burned down.
The Red Sox got punished by the gods of baseball.
The making of an icon.
It's unlike any other place in American sports.
Every change is prompted by something memorable.
How they built and saved the oldest park in the majors.
It's hard to imagine, right? But it was almost gone.
Pulling it back off the edge of the cliff.
Fenway Park. I'm Stuart Varney, and this is American Built. In Boston, baseball is more than a game. It's a religion. The Green Monster, the Curse of the Bambino, Ted Williams and Yaz, they all have one thing in common: an oddly shaped stadium crammed into a tight, marshy lot.
Pre-1900, the most successful sports franchise in America was the Boston National League baseball team.
The Boston Braves dominated baseball for decades.
They won more championships. They were the most successful. They had some of the best players.
As the game grew in popularity, so did the opportunities to make a buck on it.
There were a lot of ambitious people around the country that wanted to pick up on the growing popularity of baseball.
Business people wanted to rival the National League with another league.
Boston scored an American League team just as the American century began. They called themselves the Americans, and they needed a home.
They built a new park on some vacant land known as the Huntington Avenue grounds.
The 9,000-seat wooden park had its share of quirks.
It had one basic entrance, and you had to go down a long passageway and then circle the ballpark to get to your seats.
It was an unusual park. Center field was 635 feet. So a ball hit out there, it would just travel forever. You had a lot of inside the park home runs.
The Americans won over the Boston fans by winning the very first World Series.
It was historic because the very first pitch in the very first World Series was thrown there by Cy Young, none other than the greatest pitcher of all time. And he also pitched the very first perfect game in the modern era at that ballpark. So historically speaking, it served its purpose.
But the big wooden park quickly fell behind the times.
Due to the advancements in ballpark design and construction, the Huntington Avenue grounds was becoming obsolete.
Pittsburgh built the concrete and steel Forbes Field. Cleveland built League Park. One well-connected Bostonian wanted to keep up. Newspaper heir John Taylor.
John Taylor, whose family also owned the Boston Globe, acquired the team, and he wanted to build a new park.
He was also the owner of Fenway Real Estate.
Taylor changed the name of the club to the Red Sox, and he set out to cash in on their success.
He was an ambitious businessman himself, and he found another plot of land that he just happened to own that he thought he could develop.
Boston's Fenway-Kenmore neighborhood was a swampy mess.
A fen was a marsh or a swamp, and Fenway Park was just built on this swampy area.
There was a resistance to move here. You got to understand, the original fill was garbage and refuse.
Taylor was developing residential and commercial real estate in the neighborhood.
So he thought, well, I've got the most popular entertainment in the city, in the Red Sox. So he decided to move them here, right in the middle of the buildings he was developing.
The lot was less than ideal.
The land had been reclaimed from this marshy area, but there were streets, and so they had to kind of wedge it into an area.
And not only did he do that, he put it on a parcel that isn't flat.
From Van Ness Street in the south, the land went uphill to Lansdowne Street. There was just enough room on the odd-shaped lot for a baseball field, but not much else.
And so it had to be developed in the oddest possible way.
To fit the most seats he could on the cramped lot, Taylor stretched the field. This created an unusually deep center field and one of the shallowest right fields in the game. But that hill was a challenge.
The grade of the street on that side of the parcel is 30 some odd feet higher than the grade of the street on this side of the parcel.
Since Lansdowne Street was higher, they had to block it off.
The point about enclosed ballpark is so you could sell tickets and keep out spectators that weren't paying. So they put up a big berm, an earthen wall, so to speak, that was about 10 feet high, so that passersby couldn't just look in.
Strangely enough, that earthen wall was in play.
A player running out to catch a deep fly ball had to run up a 10-foot-high cliff, and a little bit of advantage for the home field because the left fielders for the Red Sox learned how to field the plays.
Sox left fielder Duffy Lewis mastered the art of fielding on the hill, so fans named it Duffy's Cliff. Developer John Taylor built his modern ballpark with modern materials.
Most of it was steel and concrete, the basic structure, replacing the wooden ballparks that had been customary up to that point, and they were built to last.
It was one of the best ballparks in the world at the time that it opened. This was in an era when ballparks were becoming what we now know today.
And just before the players took the field, the developer cashed out.
John Taylor sold the ballpark. The new ownership came in, and they had amazing success right away. The park was opened in April 1912. The Red Sox won the World Series that October.
Over the next decade, the Red Sox won 3 more championships, thanks in large part to a young left-handed pitcher named Babe Ruth, who could also swing a bat.
In the 19-teens, the Red Sox had probably the most dominant team of that era. Boston was just immersed in baseball and just celebrating for an entire 10-year period. All of that ended when Harry Frazee, the owner of the Red Sox, had financial problems and traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees for basically for money.
Ruth became the most famous player in the game. Frazee became a Boston pariah.
He was a businessman, though. I don't think baseball was his first love. I think theater was his first love, and there's this rumor that he sold Babe Ruth to finance a Broadway play that he was having trouble with.
After he sold the Babe, attendance at Fenway plummeted, so Frazee took out a loan from the Yankees. Incredibly, he put up Fenway Park as collateral.
Bizarre as that may be, the Yankees actually owned Fenway Park for some years there. Frazee sold off Ruth, he sold off all these other players, he took the mortgage on Fenway Park, and the team went into a doldrums. The Red Sox, they were the worst team in the American League.
And just when they thought it couldn't get worse,
the left field grandstand burned down.